You stood in front of the mirror this morning. Everything technically fine. And yet, something about the cut made your face look heavier, tired, older than you actually feel. You couldn't name it. That feeling has a name. And it's fixable faster than you think. You're not someone who stopped caring. You're someone who has been given the wrong information. By stylists who mean well and say nothing. By magazines that stopped featuring women like you years ago. And by a beauty industry that treats 60 as the end of the conversation instead of the beginning of your most elegant chapter. Here's the cost of staying where you are. The wrong haircut is working against your bone structure every single hour it sits on your head, pulling your jawline down, flattening your cheekbones, and quietly adding 4 to 6 years to how your face reads in every room you walk into. In part 3, there's a specific cut that women over 60 choose because it feels safe and polished. And a top colorist told me privately that it is the single fastest way to add a decade to your face. Most women never hear that. You're about to. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we're covering 3 haircuts that genuinely lift and refresh, and 3 you should walk away from. And by part 2, you're going to want to stop and look in the mirror. I mean it. Part 1 is about the cut that changes everything when your face starts to change. Part 2 gives you the fix most stylists won't name out loud. Part 3 is the one that surprises everyone. Part 4 pulls it all together into something you can take to your next appointment and use. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every single week. Part 1. The one cut that lifts everything, and why nobody tells you this. Here is something that nobody says plainly enough. Your haircut is either working with your face or quietly working against it. And after 60, the difference between those two things becomes more visible every single year. You've probably felt it without being able to name it. You leave the salon feeling fine, even pleased. Then 3 weeks later, something in the bathroom light catches you off guard and you think, that's not quite right. That feeling is information. And it's telling you the truth about the cut you're carrying. Here is the truth about the blunt jaw-length bob. It has been sold to women over 60 as the polished, grown-up choice for decades. And for some face shapes at certain ages, it works beautifully. But for most women over 60, especially if your face has softened, if your jawline has shifted even slightly, if your neck has changed at all, the blunt jaw-length bob does something very specific and very unkind. It draws the eye directly to the widest and heaviest part of your face. It creates a visual anchor at exactly the wrong place. It flattens your cheekbones from above and weighs your jaw from below. And it does all of this while looking completely respectable, which is exactly why it's so hard to spot. This is the one a friend of mine heard and immediately called her stylist. The cut that genuinely lifts. The one that changes the conversation your face is having with every room you walk into. Is the long layered cut that falls just past the collarbone with movement built into the ends. Not a blunt line. Not a sharp edge. Layers that start at the cheekbone level and fall with decreasing weight through the length, so the hair moves when you move, lifts when the light hits, and draws every eye upward toward your eyes, your cheekbones, your best features. There's a reason this is the hardest shift to make on your own. Because the jaw-length bob feels decisive and intentional. And the layered collarbone length cut feels like something you drifted into by accident. That perception is completely backwards. And once you understand why, you will never go back. The fix is this. If you are currently wearing a blunt bob at jaw length, ask your stylist for a graduated collarbone length cut with face framing layers starting at the cheekbone. Ask specifically for weight removed from the ends. Not blunt cut ends but point cut or razor finished ends that create movement. The difference in how your face reads within 3 weeks will stop you in the mirror. Not in the way you've been stopped before. Yes. That's simple. One maintenance tip. Have the face framing layers refreshed every 6 to 8 weeks. Not the full cut, just those front pieces that shape the cheekbone reading. That is the one investment that keeps the lift consistent. What's coming in part 2 is the cut that even women who know all of this still make, because it doesn't look like a mistake until you see it in photographs. That's where we're going next. Part 2, the volume mistake that photographs older than you are. Ask yourself something honestly. When was the last time you looked at a photograph of yourself and thought, yes, that is exactly how I see myself in the mirror? Not just acceptable. Actually, yes. For most women over 60, the answer is not recently. And the reason is almost always not the lighting, not the angle, not the camera. It is the volume. The volume mistake is not about too much volume or too little. It is about where the volume lives. Most women over 60 are carrying their volume in the wrong place. Rounded evenly all over the head, creating what stylists privately call a mushroom silhouette. You may recognize this without knowing you do. The hair is full, it looks looked after and healthy. And yet in photographs your head appears wide and low, your neck disappears, and your face somehow looks heavier than it does in the mirror. That is not the camera's fault. That is directional volume placed in a shape that compresses your vertical line and removes the lift your features need to read as alive and striking. Write this one down. The silhouette that actually lifts, in photographs in natural light, in every situation where a mirror is not available to reassure you, is volume at the crown, reduced at the sides, with length falling cleanly through the neck. Not a bouffant. Not a retro set. A modern, controlled crown lift with deflated sides and a clean neckline. This one specific shape lengthens your neck visually, lifts your cheekbones from below, and creates a vertical line that adds elegance and removes years in the same movement. The reason this mistake is the most photographed mistake on women over 60 is that the mushroom silhouette reads fine, even good, in a face-to-face conversation. It is only when the three-dimensional reality of your face is flattened into a two-dimensional image that the shape begins to work against you. Photographs are permanently honest in a way mirrors are not. The swap. If you are currently asking your stylist for volume all over, stop asking for that, and start asking for lift at the root at the crown only, with the sides smoothed, not volumized. If you use a round brush at home, direct it upward at the crown and downward at the sides. The opposite of what most women do instinctively. At your next appointment, ask specifically for a cut that is longer through the crown and shorter at the sides. That architectural choice is built into the cut itself, which means you get the right silhouette on the hardest days, not just the days when you have time to style. Maintenance tip. A small amount of lightweight root lifting mousse applied only at the crown, not distributed through all your hair, will hold the shape between appointments without adding weight. Here's something I want you to sit with for a moment. This is the photograph problem that most women attribute to aging itself. It is not aging. It is a silhouette choice that can be changed at your next appointment. The next part is the one that surprises everyone. It is the cut that looks the most current and stylish. And it is doing the most damage quietly. I'll show you exactly why. Part 3. The safe and stylish cut that's actually aging you fast. There's a cut that appears in almost every list of hairstyles for women over 50. It is sold as sophisticated, modern, and low maintenance. It is on the heads of women in every magazine, every bank advertisement, every lifestyle photo shoot aimed at your demographic. It is also, and I say this as someone who has watched it in salon chairs more times than I can count, one of the fastest ways to add a decade to your face after 60. That cut is the short tapered pixie. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week, stunning bone structure, perfect posture, and a short tapered pixie was doing everything wrong to her face. She kept asking the stylist to just clean it up. She didn't know what she was actually asking for, because the cut looked neat. It looked intentional. It looked exactly like the photographs that had been shown to her as the right choice for a woman her age. What it was actually doing was exposing the full width of her jaw and neck without the softening effect of any length, removing the face framing movement that cheekbones need to read as lifted rather than sunken, and tightening the entire visual read of her face into a shape that communicated severity rather than elegance. The pixie is not wrong for every woman. For very specific face shapes, long and narrow with strong angular features, a soft version with longer top layers can work. But for the vast majority of women over 60, whose faces have naturally softened and whose jaw and neck have changed, the short tapered pixie removes every natural tool you have for creating a youthful, lifted, feminine silhouette. Secretly, the most damaging version is the one cut close behind the ears. That taper removes the last piece of length that could soften the jaw-to-neck transition. And the effect in photographs is a visual sharpening of exactly the features that benefit from softness. The swap. From the short tapered pixie to a soft textured crop with length on top. The difference is specific. Longer on top, Enough to create movement when you run your fingers through it, enough to fall slightly toward the cheekbone, with the sides softened rather than tapered. The length behind the ears is kept rather than removed. This one change is what separates the cut that compresses your face from the cut that frames it. You keep the ease and the modernity of a short cut. You gain back every visual tool you lost. One additional fix most stylists won't mention. Ask for texture through the top with point cutting specifically, not a blunt top line. That texture is what creates the softness that a blunt cut short style removes entirely. Maintenance tip: have the sides and nape shaped every 4 to 5 weeks, but let the top grow slightly between full cuts. That extra centimeter of length on top is doing more work for your face than anything else in the style. Coming up in part 4, the 3 cuts that genuinely make the biggest difference for women over 60. Laid out simply and clearly so you can take them straight to your stylist. This is the part you'll want to screenshot. Part 4, your 3 best cuts simply explained. Take this to your stylist. Everything we have covered in this video comes down to one principle. After 60, the right haircut is not the one that looks most intentional or most polished in the abstract. It is the one that creates a specific geometry around your face, lifting the eye upward, softening the jaw, elongating the neck, and drawing attention to your eyes, your cheekbones, and the natural elegance that is already there. Not added in. Already there. Here are the 3 cuts that genuinely do that work for most women over 60. Take these words to your stylist. Say them exactly. The first is the layered collarbone cut. This is the one we opened with, and it earns its place as the most reliably flattering cut for women over 60 for one specific reason. Length past the jaw removes the visual anchor at the jawline. Layers starting at the cheekbone redirect the eye upward. Movement built into the ends creates life in the hair that your face reads as energy and youth. Ask your stylist for layers beginning at the cheekbone, weight removed from the ends with point cutting, and length landing between the collarbone and 2 inches below it. That is the specific geometry that does the work. The second is the soft textured crop with length on top. This is the shortcut that actually works, as opposed to the shortcut that only looks like it should. The key words for your stylist are length on top, point cut texture through the crown, face framing pieces toward the cheekbone, and no taper behind the ears. If your stylist reaches for the clippers or offers to taper the neckline tight, pause and ask them to leave that length instead. That is the moment most women accidentally lose the last piece that was keeping the cut in the right territory. The third is the graduated bob with face framing layers, the updated version of the classic that removes what ages it. Not blunt, not jaw length. A graduated cut that starts shorter at the nape, builds length toward the face, and ends with soft layered pieces that fall toward the cheekbone. The graduation adds volume and lift at the crown naturally, and the face framing layers do the same upward directing work as the collarbone cut in a shorter format. This one is everything. Now the 3 to walk away from. The blunt jaw length bob, which anchors the eye at the heaviest point of your face. The mushroom volume silhouette, which flattens your vertical line and photographs a decade older. And the short tapered pixie, which removes every softening tool your face has available. None of these is universally wrong for every woman, every face, every situation. But if you have been wearing any of them and something has felt slightly off, now you know exactly what that feeling has been pointing at. Before your next appointment, write down these words: layered face framing, point cut ends, length at the crown, and soft at the jaw. Those 5 instructions will redirect almost any cut in the right direction, regardless of your specific style preference. Your stylist will understand them. Your mirror will confirm them within 3 weeks. One maintenance principle that applies to all 3 of the right cuts. Do not let any of them grow out longer than 8 weeks without reshaping the face framing layers. It is those layers, not the overall length, that are doing the lifting. When they grow out, the lift disappears. A quick reshape of just the front pieces is a 15-minute appointment, and it is the most cost-effective beauty investment you will make all year. You have been one appointment away from this conversation for a long time. Now you're walking in equipped. You just learned the specific difference between the cuts that lift your face and the cuts that quietly work against it. And you did it in one sitting, with enough detail to walk into your next appointment and actually use it. Boom! Your bone structure was always this stunning. The right cut just finally lets everyone else see what you already know is there. Tell me in the comments, which of these 3 cuts to avoid were you wearing without knowing it was working against you? I read every single one. Next time, we are going into the one accessory mistake that adds 10 years to even the most beautiful outfit, and it is not the one most women expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.